Good morning and welcome to Climate Matters, your monthly sustainability radio show brought to you by the City of Santa Fe. I'm your host, Neil Denton, and we're on the air every fourth Wednesday, 8:30 to 9, talking about climate change in and around Santa Fe. For this month's show, we will be talking about Solarize Santa Fe with a couple of guests. I'm joined by Kurt Crane from Santa Fe Habitat for Humanity and Christian Casillas from the Coalition of Sustainable Communities, New Mexico. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Habitat for Humanity was recently working with the city of Santa Fe. We entered into a contract for Habitat to run a Solarize Santa Fe program, and that's just wrapping up. Most of the work is complete. There's a little bit of some energy efficiency work still going on we'll get into. But Kurt or Christian, whoever wants to take it, why don't you tell us what Solarize Santa Fe is?
I'm going to let Christian hop in on that one if he doesn't mind.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Maybe Neil, if you want to give a little bit of background, you started the program last year, and then we can talk about the iteration of it.
Yeah, I started this here in the City of Santa Fe Environmental Services Division with the intention of making solar energy affordable to more people, making it so that anyone who owns a home and has income can afford solar. There will always be some caveats, but the way this works is we bring together dozens of households. In the first program, we're aiming for 50, and we do an RFP, select a solar installer or multiple solar installers, and they say they'll offer a discount on the solar energy system since we're basically delivering all these customers. And there's a discount for the first 10 people to sign contracts, and then the discount gets greater for 11 to 25, and then even greater for over 26. So the way it's built is more people save money, the more people sign up. And an important part of the programs we've run over the last 2 years is the way that it's marketed. We want to make sure that the people who are not already, receiving sales pitches from solar companies essentially are able to benefit from clean energy in the same way that everyone else is. So it's important that this program includes marketing outside of the traditional means. We'll get into it here in the next half hour, but this most recent program run by Habitat for Humanity, they worked with Santa Fe Youth Works, who helped with some of the marketing and put up some flyers in various neighborhoods around town. Of course, Santa Fe Youth Works, they work with at-risk youth to create workforce development, job opportunities to keep the at-risk youth away from that risk. So that's generally Solarize Santa Fe. We've done it 2 years now. The first year run by the City of Santa Fe, the second year by Habitat for Humanity, and we'd really like to keep it going as long as contractors like Santa Fe Habitat for Humanity want to keep working with us. What do you think, Christian? Anything you'd like to add to Solarize Santa Fe?
No, I think that's a great introduction. Maybe just a little more context that here in New Mexico, there's an extraordinary number of households that have high energy burdens, where energy burden is defined as the amount of their income that is used to pay for electricity and gas. There's something like 150,000 households with energy burdens around 10%, something like that. The average in New Mexico and the average nationwide is 2%, and Santa Fe is no exception. And
that's the percent of household income people are paying for their electricity and natural gas bills when you say energy burden.
Yeah. So this program, we're in a pretty unique place in time right now where there's a lot of money and thought and interest going into addressing climate change, specifically by looking at the inequities of our economies. How can emissions be reduced by making lives better for those who are struggling the most? And this is obviously, I think, a long time coming, but now there's a lot of federal dollars. There's a lot of state programs. There's city programs like Solarize. So it to me, it feels like a really important piece. And you know, I applaud you, Neil, for starting the first Solarize program in New Mexico. There's a number of Solarize programs, this model around the United States, and this is the first one in New Mexico.
Yeah, this is a concept that I learned from other cities. You know, learned from their successes, learned what worked and what didn't work, with a lot of support from an organization called RMI, formerly known as the Rocky Mountain Institute. Back when we all went home due to the global pandemic, it was a great time for me to get in some online training and learn about these things. And this is something that was born out of those terrible days when we were all hunkering down in our homes. So. You know, it's great that some fruit was born out of such terrible times, aside from people learning to make sourdough bread and things like that. Right? So we kind of breezed over it in the beginning. I did mention we entered into a contract with Santa Fe Habitat for Humanity to do this, but why don't we take a moment to explain the Coalition of Sustainable Communities role in this, Christian?
Sure. Yeah. So we were grateful to be a partner with Habitat as well as YouthWorks, and the Coalition of Sustainable Communities New Mexico is a membership-based organization of local governments, of which the city of Santa Fe is one. And we work on supporting local governments with equity-focused climate policies and projects. And so it was really wonderful to work with Kurt and his team and the folks from YouthWorks who are in the trenches working with youth who are looking for kind of a new turn on life, as well as Habitat, where I'll let Kurt describe the wonderful work that you all do for getting people in their own home.
Sure, I can hop in. Well, I wouldn't have been a part of this if it wasn't for Malin Schuler and YouthWorks. She called me. She's like, "You need to be a part of this," and called me and you know, I knew of the coalition, and I knew the work that Neil did, and she said we need to partner on this. And you know, we at Habitat work a lot with YouthWorks and their program. Just a little bit about us. You know, our model of homeownership is basically to sell qualified homeowners who are between 30 to 80% of area median income. I mean, and that, for the most part, are the lowest income homeowners in Santa Fe, I think, right now. Basically, part of our programming is we require them to perform 350 to 500 hours of sweat equity, which is basically just helping them, or requiring the homeowners help us build their homes, right? And our model here in Santa Fe is with Habitat is we're a volunteer-based organization. We only have a couple of paid staff, so we work with the students, and at YouthWorks we work with volunteers. Again, we only have a couple of paid staff, so this really, you know, was near and dear to us, because as Christian was saying, that low-income homeowners are cost burdened, and part of our mission is to promote energy efficient and to build energy efficient homes. So it was really part of. It really fit in well with our mission, and partnering with Christian and Neil was super great, and thankful that Malin gave me that phone call and said that you need to be a part of this.
Well, kudos to Malin and Santa Fe YouthWorks for pulling it together. I was really happy to see your proposal after we sent out a request for proposals, because this isn't the kind of thing that there are contractors, nonprofits actively working in when we sent it out. So a little bit of a Hail Mary sending that out to the community, seeing if someone would be interested. So my gratitude to everyone who pulled the partners together, Habitat, Coalition of Sustainable Communities, Santa Fe YouthWorks here. And So let's talk about, well, first, before we get into the numbers, I did want to touch on all Habitat homes, the new homes you're building, have solar panels, right, Kurt?
Yeah. We all of our homes have solar panels. We've been, Santa Fe Habitat, we've been building to the city's green code since its inception, and yeah, all of our homes are either net zero or net positive. Obviously, we want to make sure that our homeowners are obviously set up for success, and back to the cost burden. This is one way of doing it.
That's great. So yeah, so that means those homeowners are basically paying, $7 a month to P&M, which is the fee you have to pay for them to read your meter, and then not paying for electricity and not paying for gas either. Assume those are 100% electric homes, the ones that are net zero.
Yeah, we moved away from gas, and all of our homes are electric. And I should also mention part of our home ownership piece is that we partner our homeowners with family advocates, and part of that advocate piece is getting folks set up for success, and folks who are already familiar with our mission, but also part of that is education. So we try to do a little bit of education before they move into the homes with regards to how to manage and repair and replace a home and replace things in the home, but also how the solar panels work, and what what the expectations are, and how to work and manage that whole piece, because as we all know, there are a few more pieces to having a solar panel on your roof.
Yeah, right. Well, that's great. You do the educational component, and with all new Habitat homes being net zero energy, I love that you're expanding into the existing housing stock and helping people lower their housing costs, because of course, people being able to stay in their homes and not being priced out is much more affordable than having to build new affordable housing stock, right?
No, for sure. We're always looking at ways to get that done. It's always a little bit of a challenge to find funding, but we always try to be creative in how we do that. We've been talking to legislators and you all at the city and other partners on how to retrofit our homes. We've built about 130 plus homes in Santa Fe County, and we're looking at means to actually try to retrofit as many of those homes as we can, as many as the homeowners will allow us to retrofit.
That's great. And the two of us, City of Santa Fe and Santa Fe Habitat, will have some exciting news soon about a grant we got to work on doing energy efficiency improvements and switching from gas to electric in income qualified homes. So stay tuned for that announcement once we're ready. So I mentioned it earlier in the show, but if you're just joining, we're talking about Solarize Santa Fe. This is a program that made solar more affordable for many Santa Feans, and it's currently closed. If you're listening and wondering how to sign up, you cannot sign up at this time. There's a limited sign up window, but we are going to be launching the program again in hopes of doing it every year. So you can always go to the sustainability dashboard in the city's website. Just search for City of Santa Fe Sustainability to stay up to date on announcements from the City of Santa Fe. Or sign up for our newsletter announcements on our website to make sure you get the news. So let's talk about how it works. Christian, somebody signs up for Solarize Santa Fe, they go to the website, they enter their info, then what happens?
Yeah, so this year, in the first year when you ran it, you had one respondent chosen through the RFP process as the
One
installer.
solar company.
And this year we had two installers, longtime installers here in Santa Fe. And so when somebody goes, they would go. We created a website, and on that website, solarizesantafe.com, people would go, they would register, and in that registration process, they would put their address. They would have the opportunity to upload their electricity bill, say whether or not they're interested in energy efficiency, and more information about their house as well. And then that email, once they registered, that would go to both of our installers. And then the installers would provide an initial quote to that registrant. We had 142 people who ended up registering for the program. And then once they get those initial quotes from both of the installers, then it was really up to the registrant to make a decision as to whether or not they wanted to learn more about any one of those quotes. The next step would be the installer would do a site visit to look at the house, look at the roof, look at their electric service panel, see if there were any other hidden costs that maybe needed to be taken care of before solar would be put on. And then they would provide them with a final quote. And then I think the program we launched in February, and the program, the deadline to sign up was, I believe it ended up being sometime in June. And within that time frame, if somebody wanted to go forward with solar with one of the installers would walk them through the costs, walk them through options for financing, taking out a loan if that was something that they're interested in. And then as well, the city provided subsidies for income qualified households as well.
Yeah, that was very significant. That's the first time this has ever happened. We entered into a contract with the two solar installers. Soluna Solar and Positive Energy Solar were the two companies that were selected by Habitat for Humanity. Yeah, we entered into contracts with them basically to pay for a portion of the solar panels. It was 1.6, 1.7 kilowatts, about $5,000. Well, actually, exactly $5,000 off the cost of the solar energy system. We've determined that number. You know, it varies per household. It varies by how much energy you use, what kind of interest rates you can get if you're getting a loan. But generally, from our experience running that first Solarize program, that is the amount you need to take off of the cost to make it so that people are seeing immediate savings with no upfront cost when they are getting a loan and paying interest rates. So we're going to do that again. We've got a budget for it. My gratitude to the Santa Fe governing body, our city councilors, and the mayor for helping me get that budget through. That we're also using to create a Santa Fe Clean Energy Fund, which is going to be an organization that works with local lenders like credit unions to make those loans more affordable and more accessible to people who can't currently get loans. The idea is that we will, create some financial structures that'll make it so that credit unions can offer loans to more people. And we're hoping this local clean energy fund will be able to work with a statewide climate investment center that the Coalition of Sustainable Communities is working on creating with other partners that will do the same sort of work statewide and bring in lots of federal dollars through some grants and really change the landscape of solar lending, energy efficiency lending, potentially things like electric vehicle charging stations and other clean energy solutions for homeowners here in Santa Fe and New Mexico. So more info on that on the sustainability dashboard I mentioned earlier. If that piqued your interest, take a visit and learn about our plans for the Santa Fe Clean Energy Fund. But I do understand with the rising interest rates from the credit union, that was a bit of a barrier for people to sign up. Is that right, Christian?
I think there are a number of pieces in there. Certainly, I think households are a little bit more wary right now. We're coming off of like something like 25 years of continually declining interest rates, and just the last 2 years we've seen them in the Solarize program last year, I believe the interest rates were something between 3 and 4%. This year, they're almost double that. So I think there is some sense of people thinking, oh, wait a couple years and they'll come back down. There's not necessarily any indication that will be the case. But I think that has lent to some hesitancy, even though we were working with great partners, Nusenda, Guadalupe Credit Union. Guadalupe Credit Union just partnered with a program that's run by another organization called Inclusive Prosperity Capital that was born from the Connecticut Green Bank. And they just moved into New Mexico. They're just working, launched the program with Guadalupe Credit Union, which works, is really focused on kind of non-traditional borrowers, folks that might have lower credit scores. They work closely with households that want financing for things like energy efficiency or solar. They even have a program to help to work with households to help improve their credit scores. But so I think that's one piece. It was something like, I think 10% maybe of the folks who ended up signing contracts ended up using financing. Another barrier that we encountered is a lot of the households, especially when you look in the income qualified category, folks who have maybe living in multi-generational houses, their electrical systems typically need an upgrade. That includes the service panel where the electricity comes in, sometimes the internal wiring in the house, and that can run anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. And so that's a significant $12,000 to $18,000 rooftop system. And so that was kind of an insurmountable barrier for some of our low-income households, even with the city's subsidy. The good news about that is that there's a lot of federal money that will be coming. It will be managed through our state energy office, the Energy, Minerals, and Natural Resources Department. Hopefully, we'll see that program up and going in the next year. And there's money that would pay for up to 100% of the cost for income qualified households to upgrade their service panel. And that's a necessary piece, whether it's for oftentimes, whether it's for solar, whether it's electrifying the home, putting in mini splits, heat pump hot water heaters, as well as eventually upgrading to put in an EV car charger. So that's a really fundamental piece, and so I think I can imagine the next iteration of the Solarize program really working with other partners and financing to tackle that piece first, the service panel upgrades for income qualified households.
That's some really good feedback as we craft our program we want to launch this year. We'll put some thoughts into how to help people overcome that barrier to make sure that more people are able to sign up. So speaking of people signing up, how many people are getting solar panels put on their roofs as a result of this program?
I'll jump in that. So the program closed with 31 households who signed up. Of those, about 6, I think that's about 20% were income qualified. We got a lot of, we sent out kind of a survey following the close of the program and got some good feedback back from folks saying, they've been wanting to go solar for a long time, and just didn't really know where to start. The cost was insurmountable. And so this provided an opportunity for a number of households that might not ever have gone solar to get solar on their rooftop. And a big thanks goes to the wonderful work of our two installers, Soluna and Positive Energy, and their wonderful sales teams who worked patiently and closely with households to answer all their questions.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out is through the RFP process that you guys did, you are looking at the equipment and you're looking at the warranty when selecting the installers, right? So the people who sign up they have confidence that the equipment has been pre-vetted by people who know what they're looking at. And that's something that's really valuable about the Solarize Santa Fe program, because it's always hard to trust the salesperson, right? Or it's hard to trust the mechanic when they want to sell you some service on your car. It's nice to have a third party to offer some advice.
No, I'm just going to hop in and just say that was a definite important piece for us, having the coalition and having the city of Santa Fe behind this. We're very protective of our homeowners, and I know we wanted to encourage as many of our homeowners to sign up and for this program, albeit I don't think we ended up with Habitat homeowner as a part of this program, but I think in the coming years, I think that shows an opportunity for us to be able to provide additional assistance, but it also clearly shows the need. There's that gap of folks who are maybe over 80% of area median income, up to maybe 100 or 150, where putting a solar panel on their roof or solar panels on their roof is still unobtainable and unaffordable. So I think this program not only provides a secure place for people to go because it's backed by organizations and people who know what they're doing, but it also provides an opportunity for folks who still may not be able to afford solar, on a regular, on the regular open market, or maybe hesitant about financing and other pieces.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have been talking a lot about low and moderate income households, and I do want to make it abundantly clear: any homeowner within the Santa Fe city limits can sign up for the Solarize Santa Fe program and save money through this program. It has additional financial assistance to help people who can't afford it with their own means, people below 80% of area median income specifically, but it's designed so that everybody can save money through Solarize Santa Fe. So I hope you're not listening to this and decide that you wouldn't qualify for Solarize Santa Fe when we launch it again. Please sign up. Please learn more. Again, if you can't sign up right now, we've closed the program, but we will be launching it again. So right now we're celebrating the completion of a successful program with 31 installs. It's pretty significant. When I haven't run the numbers to see how that compares to the amount of solar permits that have been issued overall, but the first time we did it, we had 39 installs, and that was a 10% increase over the norm. So probably somewhere around there in the 5 to 10% range of changing what's already happening in the landscape. So and for those 31 homeowners, the savings they were able to get through this program, obviously really significant. Once they pay off those solar panels, they'll be paying nothing but that $7 per month and a meter reading fee, saving lots of money. So we've only got a couple minutes left, but how much does it cost generally to go solar, Christian?
So there's a lot of variables there, and it obviously depends on your electricity bill, how much electricity you use, and what size system you need to put on to offset that. But the average system size of the program is around 4.5 kilowatts. And that cost would likely range from something like $15,000 to $20,000 depending on the installer and other aspects of the system. And just so you kind of get so $15,000 to $20,000, the 25-year cost savings. So solar panels will last at the very least 25 years. The warranties typically cover that. Both of our installers offered a 30-year warranty for the inverters and the solar panels. And the lifetime savings are something on the order of around $20,000 over the life of this system. So not insignificant.
$20,000 over the life of the system. That's huge. And some people are able to, make those loan payments with their savings on their electricity bill. Whether or not you're one of those people is what you can figure out by signing up for the Solarize Santa Fe program next time it happens, or just making some calls to solar installers. Get a few quotes, figure out what you might be looking at, and remember, I always give people the advice to do energy efficiency improvements before going solar, because you might be able to buy one or two less solar panels if you're not wasting so much energy in the home. So if you are going to make a phone call, I'd work on making sure your building envelope, there are no leaks around your windows, your doors. That's all sealed tight. Your ducts are well insulated. You have some good attic insulation, and you can call some companies to help with that. Just do some basic Googling, or call some friends of yours, figure out who's had it done. So we got to wrap up here. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Christian, for talking to me
Neil,
about
can I just
Solarize.
jump in on the
Yes. Yeah.
Can I just make a quick plug on the energy efficiency? If you go to solarizesantafe.com and click on the energy efficiency tab, we have links there that will take you to the resources of both New Mexico Gas and PNM, which offer free energy efficiency services and deeper energy efficiency services for income qualified households. So by visiting our page, that will take you to the rebates and other offerings of the utilities if you're interested in energy efficiency.
Perfect. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, solarizesantafe.com. Check it out. Learn about energy efficiency in addition to solar. Kurt, we're very grateful to Santa Fe Habitat for Humanity for running this program. Christian, very grateful to the Coalition of Sustainable Communities for being such a vital part of this program. Thank you both for joining me. This has been Climate Matters, your monthly sustainability radio show. We are on air every fourth Wednesday talking about climate change issues in and around Santa Fe. Next show will be on August 23rd, 8:30 to 9. Tune in. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.